It's the Brad and John Show.
It is the Brad and John Show. It's the date, 24th of February. And what is this we're in right now, John?
It's time for Brad's Top 3.
It's time for Brad's Top 3.
That must mean we're in the B block. And what do we start off with in the B block?
It's number 3.
John, I'm just going to go ahead and leave my number 3 as your number 2. That sounds interesting. I'm going to still go after this license plate thing. I think this is ridiculous. I mean, the 5-year...
Okay, and repeat for folks who don't know, today is February 24th, 2026, as you mentioned. Yeah. And in A block, we discussed the fact that there is a proposal. Let's be a little more specific here of why you don't like it, Brad. You said, or excuse me, I reported via St. Louis Public Radio that a bill that passed unanimously, 143-0 in the Missouri House, would allow Missourians to have a 5-year vehicle registration as long as their car is less than 6 years old. And Brad, you think that it's, did you say, how did you describe it? And go ahead and give your rant again.
John, this is social engineering.
Oh, it is? And explain that.
Social engineering, you're being forced into buy a new car.
Yeah, but you do not have a choice. You have car dealers. Actually, Bo Boykman and Marty Kinsella will come to your door and force you to take a look at a brand new vehicle. And they got a great financing deal, too.
John, you don't know about this, but there's some people have a rare disease. And you know what that disease is?
No.
DM phobia, where they just do not want to go to the license bureau to get their license because it's always...
They're often the same kind of people that would rather not trudge to an office 5 days a week. And you can hear that argument in B Block yesterday, February 23rd. I know. Can you imagine people that have a life don't want to sit around a bunch of smelly mothball enhanced geriatrics and wait for them to write their personal checks at the counter? Can you believe people would rather just do something online and be done with it?
John, I will say I'm taking a little bit of a step back on that. I have an exception to the people, and this is going to be maybe this is Brad 3A. I thought about this yesterday, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm sort of with John that people should be able to just work from home, but with one caveat, with one restriction.
What's the caveat?
They should have a uniform that has in big letters that says what the company they're working for. It should be on the front and back, like it says, I'm working for Missouri Department of Revenue. And it would be like on their front and their back. And they are supposed to wear that during business hours from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock or till 6 o'clock in the evening. And the reason for that is if they're out doing yoga, or they're out at the grocery store, or if they're out at the gym, or if they're out at Starbucks, and they have their uniform on that says, I'm working, people can come up and say, no, hold on a minute now. Am I paying you right now? If you're working for the government, am I paying you to be here at Starbucks and have a cafe latte macchiato? And they would say, well, no. What would you know that? Well, it has your uniform on that says you're working for the Department of Revenue or you're working for Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. See what I'm saying, John?
Yeah, and then Chatty Patties can call the company and say, I saw a woman at Starbucks at 4:32 that says she works for Centene. Do you know she wasn't working?
Well, there's nobody in Clayton in Centene anymore. The place is a ghost town. Okay, you ready for number 2?
Yeah, Brad.
It's time for Brad's number 2. It's time for Brad's number 2.
John, I have the strangest things happen to me. Since you've known me, how many weird things do you have I had happen to me that just sort of come out of nowhere? You know what I'm saying?
Well, 365 days a year times 2.5. That's a whole lot.
Yesterday, I had some business in Clayton. Had to go down to Clayton for some official kind of business. And once again, Clayton is sad because there's nobody there anymore. It's sort of deserted. Because you know why that is, John?
Because people are choosing to work from home like normal humans. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly. So on leaving Clayton to make my way out to 170, I came down Maryland/Ladue because it's Maryland until you hit the Ladue city limits, and then it turns into Ladue Road, okay? You know exactly where I'm talking about. There's Schnucks right there in the corner, okay?
Of course I do. Yeah, it's a terrible Schnucks now. It's really gone downhill. You have a terrible criminal element that has infested that area, but it used to be really nice there.
Plus, it's sort of a mess. They're redoing the floor, which I don't get why they're redoing the floor. The floor looked fine to me. Okay, I'm a kind of guy, and this is, there's a lot of, there's not too many idiosyncrasies about me. Wouldn't you say that, John? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, boy. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'm working with you here, Beth.
I love license plates, okay? And whenever I'm in a parking lot, I'm always looking at license plates. I'm fascinated by license plates, and I'm also fascinated by cars in general. So as I get out of my car, and I'm parking in the back like I normally do, and I'm walking like a cripple because I'm still having trouble walking due to my little interaction with a car on Friday, I'm walking down the aisle, and I notice a car parked in one of the handicap lots, one of handicap slots, and it has a little tiny sticker above the brand name. And the car was an SUV, was a Chevrolet Traverse, and it had a little tiny sticker that had little tiny eensy-weensy letters on it. And I go like, what in the world is that? So I went and looked at it real closely, and it's part of the dealer sticker. And I think it's from Lou Fuse, and all it said in little tiny letters was, "We are St. Louis." Okay, that's all it says. "We are St. Louis," and I think if I'm not mistaken, that's one of Lou Fuse's.
It's their tagline. Yeah.
Their tagline. Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm thinking to myself, weird. Well, somebody must have torn off the top of that sticker, but it's little tiny print, and it caught my attention. So as I turn to walk, the owner of the car confronts me, and it's an elderly gentleman, and he says to me, in a very loud and obnoxious voice, "Hey, what are you doing to my car?" And I said, "I'm not doing anything to your car." "What were you doing looking at my car?" And I said, "Well, it's got this little sticker on the back, and I was just curious. Why there's no sticker on the back of my car?" I go, "Yeah, there is." And he says, "Show me." So as I go over to show him the sticker, he hits the button on his remote, and the tailgate opens, so I can't show him. And I said, "Well, I was going to show you, but the tailgate's open." He says, "I'm putting my groceries in the back. Can you give me a minute?" And I said, "Okay, fine." So he hits his button, puts the groceries in the back, puts the thing down, and I said, "Right there." He says, "There's nothing there." And I said, "It says right there, you know, we are St. Louis." He says, "That's not on my car." I'm going like, okay, is this like some Twilight Zone I'm in or something like that? So I said, "Look, I'm sorry." And I said, he says, "Well, why were you looking at my car?" I said, "I look at cars. That's what I do. I look at license plates and things like that." So then he says to me, I swear to God, he says, "Do you want to fight me?" He says, "Do you want to fight me?" And now keep in mind, he's in a handicap spot. Now, here's what's interesting. I'm limping into the store. And I should say this, I'm limping into the store with the aid of a cart. I'm using a cart that I got from one of the corrals, or what they call it.
It's like a modified walker.
Right, exactly. It's like a modified walker. I park next to one of the shopping cart corrals, and I grabbed one of the shopping carts that was in there somebody else put out there, and I use it as a walker because I'm still having trouble walking, as crazy as that may sound. And this guy's walking just fine. And I start to walk away thinking to myself, okay, I have to remember where I'm at. I'm in the Ladue Schnucks parking lot. And if there's a fight that breaks out, the Ladue police might come and shoot both of us. So I said to him, "No, I'm afraid you beat the crap out of me," although I didn't say crap. I said something else. I said poop. That's what I said.
I got you. I'm tracking with you.
And he says, "Come on, fight me." I just went away. I'm thinking to myself, what is this? I mean, it was like, what is this? I can't look at the guy's.
I'm guessing maybe he's familiar with the Caldy incident in Kirkwood, and he thought you were trying to post an anti-Elon Musk sticker on his car or something.
It was the weirdest thing. I'm thinking to myself, I'm almost going to get in a fight with a guy in the Ladue Schnucks parking lot over me looking at the tailgate of his car. I couldn't believe it. Okay, ready for number one?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
And John, all I'm going to say is you are going to have a new level of banger when you hear my number one.
Oh,
okay?
I can't wait.
Okay, and here we go.
And now, big finish, Brad's number.
It is Brad's number one. Now, what I'm a little bit upset about is I put this up on my Facebook page over the weekend, and I can't ever get this guy's name right. I think it's legit or something like that. He's the president of the National Association of Broadcasters, and he was recently in front of a congressional committee talking about how digital media has really killed local broadcasting. His thing is both radio and TV, and has essentially taking, he said, depending on the market, 70 to 80% of the local ad revenue, which would pay for salaries of people that work at the radio, TV stations, the newspapers, and things like that. Most of the 70 to 80% in most markets is now being sopped up by or usurped by, whatever the word would be, by digital media. And that money
That's
is
awesome. Good for the digital companies, right?
That money is being funneled into California with all the Silicon Valley people. Okay, so what hit my head was, and once again, I hit my head on Friday. Maybe I'm having some revelations. I've moved some brain cells around. Years ago, like maybe decades ago, I took a financial course from a guy by the name of Wade Cook. Does the name Wade Cook ring a bell to you, John?
It does not.
Wade Cook was one of these financial gurus, and it was, I don't want to say it was an expensive course, but quite honestly, it was a very interesting course. And one of the things that Wade Cook based his policies are and he was an investor, but he was also a guy that was rich. He was a millionaire. And he's talked about the defining moment in his life was when he was not doing so well. And he lived someplace in, I guess, in the state of Washington. And he was a cab driver. And the interesting thing was he lived in a small town about 70, 80 miles from the Seattle-Tacoma airport. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, John?
I do, yeah.
The SeaTac airport. And a lot of the cabbies, they wanted all those runs. They wanted the runs with the people who were traveling out of town, and they would go up to the Seattle-Tacoma airport, and it was a big fare. The only problem was most of the time they came back empty. So they came back, went up with a passenger, but that came back empty. So half the time they're getting paid, half the time they're not. So the other cabbies didn't want to take the short trips. They didn't want to pick up Mrs. Jones at her house and drive her 3 blocks to the market. And he came up with a principle called the meter drop principle. The idea being is that he took all the short run things because every time the meter flag went down, he immediately made like $1.22. And he's talked about the fact that some of his people, especially some of the older women he would take like grocery stores, liked him so much because he was courteous with them and helped them get their groceries in the car and stuff like that, that they would essentially say, honey, can you just park here and wait for me? Or can you come back in an hour and I'll use you to go back home? So his idea was that instead of going for the big ticket items, the long haul drives, the SeaTac, he was going to do all the short run things. So in other words,
has been sorry to interrupt, Brad, but I remember you've given this dissertation before.
Right.
This is your theory about radio ad sales. I remember Shelley has noted your love of the meter drop system for selling radio ads.
Right. The idea being that instead of like going after schnooks and spending 3 months of your time, talking to the schnooks people, hey, our radio station is great. You love our radio station. Instead, you go to like the shoe repair dude. Hey, how'd you like to buy some ads? We get you on the air for $99 a month. Oh, okay, great. Okay, fine. And you get a bunch of those people. Okay. So yesterday, I had an incredible thing happen to me. I had a very important person who has come on board with us to help me with this. Okay, John?
Okay, yeah, okay. And is it someone we have to take from a grave in Norway?
No, it's not. John, okay. I've already put together the first ad in our new system. I can't wait to hear it. Are you going to play it for us today? I'm going to play it for you right now. And more importantly...
Wow, okay, let's wait. Let's do it.
It allowed me to go onto GoDaddy and buy another domain name. Okay, you ready, John?
Oh, wow, you were lacking in them. What is it, Brad? Let's hear it.
Okay, here we go, John. This is going to blow your socks off. Do you have socks on right now?
I do.
Are your kids close? So I don't want to get them hit when your socks blow off.
Go ahead.
Okay, here we go.
These low-dollar networks have been really used all over the political spectrum, going really back to 2008 with the Barack Obama campaign. He was kind of the pioneer in these low-dollar networks. And a lot of people making small donations can be just as powerful as big donors or big special interests writing enormous checks.
That's Bill Eigel talking about the low-dollar network.
I love the idea that these low-dollar networks have allowed millions of people to engage in the political discussion in a way that they've never been able to before.
Bill, those of us here at Westplex Talk couldn't agree with you more. That's why we've started the lowdollarnetwork.com. Yes, freedom of speech right here in the radio. lowdollarnetwork.com.
Anybody that can harness the power of low-dollar networks that relies on the power of their ideas to solicit donations is a huge threat to the political status quo.
Those of us here at Westplex Talk are all about challenging the political status quo.
Because they allow so many more people to engage in the political process that they've never been done before.
Bill Eigel is right. Help Westplex Talk engage in the political talk that will help us all into the future. Go to lowdollarnetwork.com, lowdollarnetwork.com, and make your $5 donation.
Paid for by Westplex Talk. Bill Eigel is not associated with Westplex Talk, nor did he approve of this message.
What do you think, John?
And it is okay. So I'm not going to click on it now, but when you say $5 donation, is it like a charitable thing, or are you tossing somebody like an advertisement if they click on it?
No, it's just giving money to the radio station.
Oh, wow. Very good. Rattling the 10 cup, Brad. Hey, you should start with a homeless guy that sits outside of Schnucks that doesn't like the food you give him. Now, Brad, where did you get that Eigel audio?
Where did I get that Eigel audio?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to spill my beans early, John, but
Boy, you've said that before.
For some crazy reason, Jason was actually on the air yesterday.
Well, there you go. Okay, so that was likely then the audio that I referenced in A Block.
Right. He did his show yesterday. For some reason, I'm driving around and I punch up and I thought I was going to hear Elaine Chao talk like this.
But you got to hear Jason Rosenbaum.
Right.
Yeah, maybe Elaine lost her voice from constantly shouting.
Yeah, that was it. She's yelling and screaming. No. So what happened was somebody came into the studio. One of the maintenance guys came in and said, "Hey, Elaine, you look nice today." So she took him to court, and yesterday they had their court appearance. So that's what it was.
He's wildly offended by that. Oh, good. Well, Brad, I hope that I hope you set auto renew for that, and you can add it to your boneyard of website domains. I love it.
John, you didn't click on it?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Why not? It's legit.
I bet it is. I thought that's a good use of time yesterday, huh?
I thought maybe you'd be the first $5 donation.
Absolutely not, Brad. I've given 2.5 years, and that's plenty.
Low Dollar Network, lowdollarnetwork.com. Yes, you want to contribute because Bill Eigel is, now, do you think Bill will be mad at me and start playing that all the time?
No, but I think Steve Ehlmann just heard it come across. He was doing that. He was playing that game at Delmar Gardens where the old people have to keep the balloon in the air. Like it's supposed to keep, psychologists say that keeps your brain from thinking of the pain of your gout and things like that. And a lot of times they like to play your voice because it lulls people to sleep. And I think Steve would probably be like, "Why isn't Brad playing my stuff?"
Well, see, don't you think there's an irony to what I'm doing with Bill Eigel?
Oh, I get the joke. Yeah, it's very funny, Brad. Now if I was another candidate, I would think, why is Brad playing an advertisement and giving Bill Eigel's voice out for free when he's not doing that for me? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm waiting for, matter of fact, I would be willing to bet right now that Bill Eigel, who used to work on the air with Rick and Tracy's station, I bet you Bill Eigel's already been told about this, and I bet you he's called up Rick and Tracy and say, "Hey, who's that law firm that you used to send a cease and desist order against Brad?" And probably before the day's out, my fax machine will go off. Yeah, I still have a fax machine, but it's not hooked up. But my fax machine will go off, and I'll get the C&D from Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. What do you think, John?
And that'll be your second cease and desist. But you know what? You're going to send it to your attorney, and they've never seen the likes of Amanda Wiggleworm.
Amanda Wiggle Girl, AWG.
Oh, AWG, yeah. Excuse me. I call her Gabrielle, but you can call her Amanda.
So you don't mind if I play that then?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's great to play joke parody things instead of playing real promos that might drive people to actually listen to our show. You should play joke gimmick things. And hey, do you have any Ronald Reagan stories that you could tell? And then the man looked up and said, "Is there anybody else up there?"
John.
I'm Bart Inman. I don't pay for advertising time, but I'm an old man, so Brad feels sorry for me. Because, plus, why would he ever play a promo for the Brad and John show when he could play an old man sounding crabby who doesn't pay for advertising?
Hold on a minute.
Call me, I'll get you into HVAC.
Hold on a minute. The ceiling tiles are parting. Oh, my God. It's my journalism professor, Dr. Camille Winter. Dr. Winter, good morning. Brad, are you going to let that John make fun of you like that? Well, he always does, Dr. Winter. Well, Brad, you're one of my journalist greats. Tell him who you are. Okay, I will. John.
Brad doesn't know at his age. He doesn't know who he is. He hit his head on the concrete.
John,
Friday.
let me tell you who I am.
I'm not a baby, I'm a man. I am an anchor man. I'm a man who discovered the wheel and built the Eiffel Tower out of metal and brawn. That's what kind of man I am.
See, that's what I am.
Can you have the donations from this Eigel gimmick? Can you have them sent to your black geriatric guardian angel? Whatever happened to that guy?
Oh, hold it. Somebody else just sent me something. Oh, somebody just sent me a text that President Obama heard what I said. Mr. Obama, what did you think about the low-dollar-network.com?
Don't be bamboozled.
Hey, if you don't give money to the Brad Charity Fund, you ain't black. That's what Joe Biden said.
Or maybe this.
Positivity, productivity, and prosperity. God Squad.
God Squad.
Positivity, productivity, and prosperity. God Squad.com.
The 3 Ps: positivity, productivity, and prosperity. God Squad. GodSquad.cloud.
There you go, John. There's another donation you can make. Okay.
Phenomenal, Brad. It's just phenomenal. I hope Senator Mike Carter in 2027 passes a bill to ban ridiculous AI gimmicks.
These low-dollar networks have been really used all over the political spectrum, going really back to 2008 with the Barack Obama campaign.
He's the expert on this.
This is what happens when Brad gets highly medicated. I should administer some Narcan so you'll stop these AI gimmicks.
Yeah, I shook that bottle up. They gave me like 24 pills of that, what, oxycodone, whatever the hell is the opiate stuff. I thought to myself, just like candy. I just took the lid off and just.
And what do we get? We get Bill Eigel promos. I like it, Brad.
Okay, we have to take a break.